Hi, I'm Frankie.
And I'm Ebony.
And this is Conbini Cult. Woo! Welcome back to another episode. I'm here with Ebony today to talk about things like becoming fluent in Japanese, working the corporate life, and then becoming a Japan Airlines ambassador. So I have a lot of things to ask you about. Thank you for being here for one.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
So to start, where are you from?
I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia in the United States.
Nice. East Coast. I'm from New Jersey.
Nice. East Coast buddies. Yay.
Yeah. How long have you been in Japan at this point?
So I've been here for a little over 3.5 years. It'll be 4 years come late August this year.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was going to ask, has most of your adult life been in Japan? Like all the adulting things, getting an apartment, paying bills, dealing with insurance and tax and stuff, that's all been here, pretty much?
I did a little bit of it back in grad school when I was in the States. Mm-hmm. So I was in the States until age 25. So I was living by myself at that point, like paying bills and rent.
Oh, okay.
But then, but also half of it has also been here too. So
okay. But you did get some experience with that back home.
Mm-hmm.
I also moved to Japan at 25.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Why do we have all these similarities?
Yeah, and I had worked in New York for a few years, being an administrative assistant at a law firm, a Wall Street law firm. It sounds really fancy, but
oh wow,
the job was not that exciting. But yeah, so I had already, done things like getting an apartment, doing my taxes, and all that. Mm-hmm. So it's a bit different in Japan, but if you've done it before, you can figure it out.
Right. For sure.
Did you travel to Japan before moving here?
Mm-hmm. So before moving here, I came here for vacay 3 times. So once at the end of 2017 and then twice in 2018.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Was it like a lifelong dream to move to Japan, or was that something that kind of hit you later?
It was kind of like a build-up because I'd always been interested in like Japanese culture as a kid, and then got into college, started studying Japanese, and I had this like bright idea to like, what if I just traveled there? And then I really enjoyed my vacations. I was here for like 2 weeks for 2 of those trips. And then the other trip I was here for 5 weeks. So then, loved every moment of those trips. Came back home and was talking to people. And I was like, how can I stay here in Japan longer? Do you have any ideas? And they were like, oh, you should study abroad, do an internship. And I was like, oh yeah. So then was able to do that. And then once I started studying abroad, that was when I was like, okay, think I might want to live here, like work here. So
when did you start studying Japanese? Before the vacations or during study abroad?
Before the vacations. Mm-hmm. So January 2017 was when I started.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's not even 10 years of this fluency journey.
Yeah, this is year 10 actually. So
okay. I need to step up my game after this. You're making me look bad.
You got this. You can do it.
I'm okay. I can get by.
Good.
I can't pass the N2, which we'll talk about later. JLPT stuff. So you studied abroad? Mm-hmm. Study abroad or internship?
So I did study abroad actually in Yokohama from August of 2022 to June of 2023. So that was actually how I moved to Japan. I moved here for school.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. That was grad school?
After grad school. It was when I studied abroad here, I went to this like advanced Japanese language school in Yokohama.
Oh,
mm-hmm. Yeah.
I see. Okay. It's all starting to make sense. And then, so after you graduated from that program and entered the workforce, what kind of job did you get? What was your first job here?
So to start out, I was a full-time English teacher. Actually.
Oh.
Yeah, at a really popular company called Berlitz. Yeah, if you know anything about like English teaching in Japan, it's a really like famous company.
Yeah, Eikaiwa conversation school.
Yeah.
Of all ages.
Because I didn't hold JLPT N2 or just at any kind of like certification at that point. So I kind of had to like do English teaching and then study for the JLPT while working.
Oh. Then how did you transition out of teaching?
So once I got the N2, I got it in January of 2024. So then at that point was when I started to like look for, I guess, liberal arts or like humanities, like language heavy types of jobs. And was still looking more so in Tokyo, in Yokohama as well. And then I happened to come across some good job listings on Gaijin Pod. And one of them was for this like study abroad agency. And I had a few interviews for it. And I happened to get that job and start in May 2024.
Okay. So what was like the title and the duties at that role?
So it was like a study abroad, like administrative assistant kind of.
Oh, okay. So helping students who are coming into Japan?
We were actually helping Japanese students go overseas.
Oh, the other way around.
So we were helping them, at least my department, we were helping them to like get their, apply for programs actually overseas, as well as help with their visas and like just everything that they needed, like just to get over there. And then if they had any concerns and whatnot while they were there, we were kind of like helping them at that point too. So
nice. What were some of the, maybe the good and bad points about that job?
Let's see. Let's start with the bad.
Okay.
That commute was really long. I'm not going to lie. I was coming from Yokohama to Shinjuku like 5 days a week. And
oh, yeah, that's pretty far.
Yeah. It was like 80 minutes, 70, 80 minutes one way. I was like, oh man. So that
during rush hour too?
Yes.
That's I'm like panicking just thinking about it.
No.
Rush hour.
No. And having to ride Shonan Shinjuku line every day. Oh my God. No. What else was kind of sucky about the job? At least in the department I was in, for some, I don't know, I feel like it was dumb. Things about the way that we did our jobs or like processes and stuff that we used changed way too frequently, like multiple times a week, sometimes even like a few times in a day. And then we were like expected to remember them. And I'm just like, some of these things that were changing did not need to change. Like it was good the first time or like before. Why are we changing? Why are we fixing it? Yeah. So, and I kind of failed at that. So I definitely got, yelled at a lot. Oops.
Yeah. How was the like the company culture? So it was mostly Japanese people there, or was it kind of diverse, like foreigners and Japanese?
It was, I want to say like 70% Japanese and then 30% foreigners. So my department and then the English teacher department at that company made up like the 30%.
Okay.
Company culture. Whew.
Did you have to go out drinking all the time?
No, that wasn't a thing. Like they, to some extent, at least for the foreigner departments, they prioritized like work-life balance. Like I didn't have to do very much overtime at all. But some of the things about it, like it was kind of one of those companies that was like, we're a family. And I'm like, ooh.
That's a red flag. That's always a red flag.
That's always a red flag. So when I heard that in like the first few weeks there, I was like, oh no, I don't think they know what that means. Yeah. So some parts of the company culture could have definitely been better in terms of like the way they did things, like the way they kind of like treated each other, like I guess like human relations or like ningen kankei in Japanese. Like, yeah.
What were some of the good points or some like valuable things you took away from your experience there?
Let's see. At that job, that was like the first time I really was having to like write in Japanese, but on the business level. Because like I had been doing like a lot of speaking business Japanese, which I was like pretty confident in that. But then like writing, like especially like longer emails or like paragraphs, and I was just like, I'm just gonna try, do my best, and ChatGPT will save me, maybe. But thanks to that job, I really improved my writing skills to an extent. Some other good points about the job, with the help of the English teacher department, they hosted like a lot of like good recreational events, like after work or like different like kind of like. We had like a summer festival type of thing in the office. We also had like, I think there was a game night, like a Mario Kart game night kind of thing at one point. So nice events to go to. So,
and then what ultimately led you to leave that company?
So the main thing was just like, so I mentioned earlier, I kind of was like getting like screamed at with like not remembering like all the changing things. And then that also led to...
Was that literally screamed at or metaphorically?
Metaphorically. I mean, I got scolded a lot. So, but which also led to like me at making like a good bit of like errors on the job. Like mostly they would be caught, but yeah, just they weren't really a fan of errors. I mean, that's just how it is, like an administrative assistant job. You can't really make too many errors, even though they're going to happen anyways.
Yeah, but we're humans. So
we're humans.
Even AI makes errors.
Even AI makes errors, exactly. And also with this particular company, there were a lot of people before me in my department as well as other departments that were just like dipping like crazy. Like at the rate of people quitting that company, I was just like, this is not real. This can't be how other companies are doing this. And this didn't seem right. So with all that, and experiencing all that, and then also not making it to like seishain, which is like permanent employee. Like they had to extend my contract so that I could like fix things fix the errors that I was making. So then while I was like in that period, I was just like, do I really want to like deal with this? Even if I make it to the extra trial period. And I was like, nope, we're gone. I'm going. I can't do this anymore.
What was the next step after that? Another full-time position or something else?
The next step after that, so I left that job, I left that administrative assistant job in November of 2024. So at that point, I started to job hunt once again, took a few interviews, one of which was for a real estate company.
Oh,
and
interesting.
Right? And so took a few interviews for that, both online and in person. And then I ended up getting that job, which I also found on Gaijinbot.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. How was that?
Yeah, right. So took all the interviews throughout like November and December. And then I started work in January of 2025.
How was that job?
In general, it was just all right. There were some, I'm not going to say good, not going to say bad. It was just all right. I will say, I guess as far as like the good and the bad points, I'll start with the good this time. So good points, got to use a lot of business Japanese. That was also my first job where I was talking on the phone in business Japanese. Oh. Right? So really having to like think fast and like still use like pretty polite, if not business level, speech. So that helped me a lot. The other good thing about the company was that it was a smaller Japanese company. So the job back in Shinjuku was actually like a big company, a kind of big-ish company. So maybe around 200 people at the time that I was there. But this company, everyone, including like the president, my department, and then the few other people outside of my department, I think it was like 10 or 11 of us. So tiny. So we all knew each other and like got close to some extent. Oh, so yeah.
Yeah, that's a really tiny company.
Right.
So were you a real estate agent or
yes, I was
doing stuff behind the scenes or both?
So I was like, so when I say like real estate agent, we weren't necessarily like going out to show people properties. Like we weren't the, I guess, standard real estate agent that you might think of. So we were doing more so like kind of like negotiating with potential customers as well as like residents about our properties. Like this particular real estate agency was actually like their main thing was monthly apartments.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Not 2-year leases. So we were dealing with like the monthly apartments. And so, potential customers could like look at the properties listed on our website and like other websites that we use to advertise the properties and like reach out to us if they were interested in like moving. And we would help with like, the paperwork and like, getting them, getting their payments and whatnot. And then even when they moved in, we would still be assisting them, going on site if necessary, that kind of thing.
Interesting. So you found the job on Gaijinbot. Mm-hmm. So they were looking for foreign staff.
Exactly.
So a lot of their customers, are they foreigners? So were you kind of like bridging the gap between foreigners and Japanese landlords?
So that particular company's customer base, I would say maybe 60% Japanese and then 40% foreigners. Oh. So there was another foreigner on staff there. So we were helping, with the foreigners, but we still had to speak enough Japanese to help with the Japanese clientele too. Oh. And then as far as our properties, like our real estate agency, we had these units in like apartment buildings that we would, rent out as monthly apartments. So we were the landlord. So if the resident needed help with anything, they would have to come to us. And then if necessary, we would have to contact the landlord if it was something that we couldn't really like handle or touch. So.
Oh. Interesting. Mm-hmm. When I first moved to Japan, I started in Tokyo and I did a month-to-month apartment kind of thing. So This sounds like the place where I rented from. I forgot the name of it, but you can tell me later what the name of it was. Maybe it was the same place. I wanted to do a monthly thing just to figure out if I liked the neighborhood or not before I signed a 2-year lease. So yeah, monthly rentals are really useful.
Oh, wow. How long were you in the monthly apartment situation?
I think maybe 4 months.
Okay.
Not too long until I found my own place.
Cool.
Yeah. You're not working there anymore, right?
No. So I left that job in August of 2025. So I was there for 7 months total. And what I guess prompted me to leave that job is there was, again, the thing of like things changing quickly and not being able to pick up. But then unfortunately with my department being so tiny, like it was only 4 of us, including like my senior, like my senpai, we were unfortunately just being like stretched in way too many directions, like having to handle so much, even though there were only so few of us. So there were a number of times where like I would be the only one in the office, or like one of my other coworkers would be the only one in the office, and like we would just have to be out and about doing different things because I guess other like, you know, cleaning people that we hired, like they would be quitting, or just like I felt like we had too many properties that we were managing at one time and too many problems arising and whatnot. So, and then I felt like it just wasn't worth like the stress. And then also this particular company was based in Meguro, so Yokohama to Meguro, again, another long commute, just under an hour. And I was just like, I was literally starting to feel both like physically and like mentally tired, like drained. And I was like, I gotta do something different. I gotta go.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm just going through your entire resume with you. Because I know right now you're working like a combination of part-time jobs, right? So
Yes.
Yeah, that's where we are now.
That's where we are now. So let's see. Okay, so I quit my full-time job in August of 2025. And then I was like, oh crap, what am I going to do about my visa? So then I was like, well, at a minimum, I was like, let me see if I could work part-time, because I was like, I just wasn't mentally ready to like go back to working full-time. So I've been teaching part-time for an English, like eikaiwa, since October of 2025. It's like an English, like home tutor company. So we actually have to go to the families' homes, like teach them English.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty cool.
That's for kids, right?
For families.
The whole family?
Yeah, so yeah, like at one of my families, like they have it where the kids will take the lessons the first half an hour, and then the adults will take a lesson like the last hour.
I kind of like that though.
Right?
Then the whole family gets practice, and then I don't know, when they have dinner or something later, they can talk about their lesson.
Exactly.
That's really nice, actually. I never thought about that.
It's nice. I like it. I like the setup a lot because, you know, you have the same family, like, you know, once a week or once every other week, and you really like get to like bond with them versus like when I was working at Berlitz, like we had repeats because, you know, the customers would sign contracts, but then it was still like, you know, a bag of marbles. Like you didn't know who you were really going to get. So yeah, very anxiety inducing that job kind of.
So since becoming better at Japanese, how, not even just work related, but what opportunities do you think that you've gotten because of your language ability?
That's a good
like
question.
Things that wouldn't have worked out if you couldn't speak Japanese.
So my 2 full-time jobs that I held here, I wouldn't have had them if I didn't have Japanese. Because both of those jobs actually required JLPT N2 at a minimum.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They didn't, like, you know.
Oh, the 2 full-time jobs.
Yeah, the 2 full-time jobs. Yeah, the one in Shinjuku and then the one in Meguro. Yeah, you had to have JLPT N2. They weren't like asking you to like show the certification or anything, but like all those interviews for the jobs were in Japanese. You could not really speak English.
But they never checked.
They never
for
checked.
Your certificate.
They would know by your speech though.
Okay. But a lot of people can pass, but they still can't talk.
I know.
Which is one of the issues.
This is so...
Maybe we'll save that for our JLPT rant towards the end. But what about like friendship-wise? Because I think that also opens a lot of doors for friendship too. Because I think not everybody, but it's common for people to say that it's hard to have a close relationship with Japanese people. Not necessarily romantic, but even platonic ones too. So I think definitely if you don't speak Japanese, it's much more challenging.
For sure. Yeah. I would say, I don't know, at least one of like the, I guess, clubs or classes that I attend, one of which is like action karate.
Oh.
Yeah. And so that class is actually given all in Japanese. And then I've become close friends with one of the girls who takes the class. I think she's maybe a couple years younger than me, who actually studied abroad in the States for like under a year or something like that. So I think because we have that like common connection of like Japanese and like really good English, and like we were able to like get close. But if I hadn't really spoken Japanese or like didn't really, I guess, bond with the culture, I don't think we would be as close as we are. Yeah.
So it's easier to make friends that way. And then also you have a really cool hobby. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But speaking of other opportunities, so you have since become a JAL ambassador.
Yeah.
What does that mean to be a Japan Airlines ambassador?
Okay, good question.
Yeah.
So the, I guess, full title is JAL by IUC Japan Ambassador. So IUC is the name of the language school that I attended here in Yokohama, IUC Yokohama. And so JAL and IUC Yokohama have this like collab, and they've chosen 3 of the school's alumni to be like Japan ambassadors. And what we do, basically on our social media, we post like content that's related to like travel or culture, or maybe just things about Japan life that people didn't know that would be beneficial for foreigners. Because the goal of this whole project that JAL has set up is we are trying to show parts of Japan to foreigners, parts of Japan that people don't necessarily know about Japan, and also trying to get foreigners to explore more of Japan, more than just like Tokyo, Osaka, like, you know, Nagoya, like the bigger cities. We want people to go to, you know, I guess, be off the beaten path. So we make reels or like just regular like posts, and we add the hashtag JALXIUC Japan Ambassador. I know.
I feel like that's a really specific hashtag.
It's very specific.
It's only like if you know, you know.
It's too specific even.
They just do JAL ambassador.
Like, I don't know. I feel like, but they also have
JAL
like
goes here or something.
But they also have like just other like JAL ambassadors that are not in our program. So I feel like that wouldn't be like, that would be too like not specific enough.
Oh, okay.
And the other perk of this program, I should mention, is that we can go to anywhere in Japan of our choice. Like they are providing us like free flight tickets to go there, to go to a location, and then we film and whatnot, and then we like, you know, post it on Instagram. And so we can either, it's usually where we want to go, it's our decision, but then there could be times at this point of the fiscal year that we're hired, there could be times where JAL says, like the company says like, oh, we want you to go here. So
those free flights, can you take them anytime, or do you have to kind of submit a proposal? Like, I would like to go here and show this place.
We do have to give them 2 months notice.
Okay.
And then they have given us like different like blackout dates. So like, you Golden Week, summer vacation, like the end of the year, nenmatsu, nenshi. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
But it sounds like a really cool opportunity.
It's very cool. I'm very excited.
What is the length of that contract? Is it like 1 year, 2 years?
It's just the entire fiscal year this year. So we started in April, and then it goes all the way to the end of March next year.
Nice. Okay, so you just started that pretty much.
Literally, yeah.
Wow. Exciting.
Yeah. And then we also have like routine like check-in meetings. So I just had one of those like about a week ago, and then we'll have another one, I think like July or August.
Nice. That sounds fun. So to get on the topic of studying Japanese, maybe we should just start with talking about the JLPT.
Sure.
Just get it over with. So has N2 been the only one that you've taken? Have you tried N1 yet?
So let's see. Let's back up. So I actually took N3 back in the States.
Oh, okay.
And I failed by 9 points. So close.
What section was it?
Reading.
That's the hardest one for me.
It's the hardest one for me too. So I took N3 back in fall of 2019 and found out I failed in the new year 2020. Then I waited a few years because just with like Corona and everything, and just busy with finishing up my bachelor's, like master's and everything, and then language school. So once language school finished, I decided, you know, I needed to take N2, especially if I wanted to get a job at a Japanese company. So I took N2 in December of 2023, and I thankfully somehow graciously passed in one attempt.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know how I did it. I really don't. And reading was still my lowest on that exam. And as far as N1, I've actually taken it twice now.
Oh, really?
So for some forsaken reason, I took it 6 months after passing N2. I don't know why I did that.
Oh, that is...
It was not smart because I was working full time and I barely had the time to study. And then I took it again, another 6 months after I took it the first time. And still failed because I didn't have enough time to study because of like fatigue from full-time work. So then I was just like, you know what? We're just gonna like take a year off and just like, let's try again in like summer of 2026 or something. And here we are. I'm like on my 3rd round, so.
Oh, are you taking it this summer?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I feel like taking it immediately after N2 would be kind of demoralizing. Because it's a huge jump, right?
It's a huge jump. And I had always heard that, but I was just like, I'm in Japan. I'm surrounded by Japanese every day. It can't be that bad. No, it's actually that bad.
I mean, I say it as someone who still can't pass N2. It's been a while, though. It's been a few years. Mm-hmm. But I would have to study if I'm going to take it again.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, I don't know, do you think that the stuff that's on that test was actually useful in a work situation?
Yes and no. No, because people say listening is actually one of the easier parts of that exam for a lot of people.
That's the only part I passed.
Really? But some of the like listening conversations on that exam are like kind of awkward. And so people would be like if you've immersed yourself in enough Japanese media, when you take the listening section of JLPT, it's like, this is not really how people talk. Like, so I guess the listening was kind of like, but then like the vocabulary and like the grammar and whatnot and kanji on N2, very useful because you use a lot of that, like if you're working in a Japanese company. So
okay, that's good to know. And then so far, what you have studied for N1, have you used any of that in real life?
Yeah. I've actually been able to use like a lot of the grammar points I've learned like in conversation. So some of the grammar on the exam is just like written language kind of grammar, but some of it is like actually like conversational language. And then also the kanji has come in handy because like, you know, you being in Japan, you're always surrounded by like kanji, right? So just reading practice wherever you go. So
can you read a newspaper with ease?
I wouldn't say with ease, but like I'm depending on like the subject matter. So like if it's like a baseball article, no, because I don't know a lot of like baseball lingo. But say if it's like, about like current events or like say, I don't know, maybe more like just like fun kind of news, if that makes sense. Yeah, like entertainment kind of news. Yes, that wouldn't be too much of a problem.
Nice. For me, I can read manga. I never tried like a newspaper or a novel or anything.
But honestly, what kind of manga is it? Wait.
Well, I read all of Demon Slayer in Japanese.
Oh, wow.
And some of Nana.
You should definitely try to read a newspaper. If you can read all of Demon Slayer.
Well, there's furigana.
But still,
and then I would just look it up.
Still, though, you can do it. You should try.
Okay, I'll try. I should, at least with current events.
Yeah.
Because there's not everything gets translated into English, and there's a lot of interesting news that is only in Japanese. So,
right.
Yeah, I gotta try harder.
You can do it. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you. So overall, do you think that the JLPT is, well, I guess it is useful for finding jobs and stuff, but is it actually useful? I just hate that test. I feel like with the JLPT, because there is no speaking and there is no writing, so I feel like that's why I don't like that test, because it doesn't test your full ability. So even if you do pass it, that doesn't mean that you can have a conversation with someone or write your business emails.
No. Yeah, it really only, like you said, tests your like input. And especially if you're like, I guess living or working in Japan, if you know, but it's learning a language or like operating in a society that does not use your native language, you can't just get by with input alone. You have to be able to like talk.
You need to respond.
You need to respond.
And if someone asks you a question, it's not multiple choice. You need to answer them.
It's not multiple choice. It ain't Jeopardy. Hey.
Yeah. So that's I also just don't really like standardized tests in general. I don't think that is a good measure of intelligence or whatever ability it's testing for. But I'm probably going to have to take the JLPT again sometime for like PR applications. They're going to add a language requirement. So I hope that they will decide what it's going to be so I know which tests to prepare for.
I feel like they're not going to be too harsh. If anything, I feel like they might say like N4 or N3.
Oh.
Who
If
knows?
it was N4, I know I get past that.
Yeah. If you guys are aware, the language requirement for Japanese citizenship, I believe, is on the level of like a maybe second or third grader. It's pretty low. So I feel like PR might not be as strict for like the language requirement.
I really want to talk to my friend who got citizenship because I had just assumed it was like a high school level or something, but
Lower.
okay. Yeah, I think for PR, maybe N3-ish. I hope it's not N2.
That would like knock a lot of people out, I feel like, for PR.
It will. I wish that they would just do kind of a sit-down interview, like a 5 to 10 minute interview with you. That would be amazing.
Wait, listen, let's like put that on social media.
Yeah, who can I contact in the government to get this going? Just ask me a few questions. Don't make me take the JLPT.
No, a test is nothing. An interview would like be a lot better because like speaking, listening.
They get all of the things.
Right.
Yeah. Because I don't know, I think speaking and listening are the most useful or most practical.
Most practical,
skills.
yeah. For daily life and whatnot.
Yeah. Of course, reading and writing is also important, but yeah, for like getting by on the daily, speaking and listening is really important. Mm-hmm. Are there any embarrassing language mistake stories that you have?
So I'm not sure how familiar the viewers are with like Japanese language, but I still have an accent, and particularly like on the R line of the Japanese like alphabet. So like nariru deru. It's really hard for me to say because it's supposed to be like between an L and an R.
Yeah.
And I barely get it. And so I've actually been called out about it on like some of my Japanese teaching videos. They're like, I still hear like an L or R. Like I can't really understand your R's. And I'm just like, you know what, man? At least I'm trying.
But I think, I don't know, being fluent doesn't mean that you have no accent at all.
Yeah.
People are just nitpicky.
Yeah, people are just being picky. Other than that, not so much mistakes, but I've definitely been like misheard before.
Oh.
I guess like one good example would be like, I was actually talking to like one of my Japanese professors, and I was telling her like either like we were talking about like the rice over like the meat over rice dish, which is like in Japanese is donburi. Mm-hmm. But then my teacher, she thought I said like donguri, which is like acorn. And I was like, wait, no.
It's still pretty innocent though.
Yeah, still pretty innocent. Nothing kind of like, you know, emotional damage kind of mistakes, no.
Yeah. One of my friends who I used to teach preschool with, she has since moved back to the States. But with one of the kids, I think maybe they were in middle school or something, because this school had preschool and kindergarten during the day. And then from the afternoon, they had some eikaiwa classes. So the one kid, he really loved the kendama, that wooden toy.
Yeah.
So she was asking him, she's like, oh, what did you do on the weekend? Like, did you play with your kintama?
Oh my God.
So kendama's the toy. Kintama is balls.
Bless her heart. Oh my God.
Luckily, I've never made any mistakes that bad, I don't think. That I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Maybe I said something and I thought it meant something it didn't mean. Mm-hmm. But there was one time, like, I used to mistake tennai and dine-in, like employee. So I when I first came here, like I would go to a cafe or something and they'd be like, oh, tennai goryou desu ka or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, yes, tein desu. Yeah, I work here. They're like, okay.
Oh, wait. Now I actually do remember. I do have an actual embarrassing language mistake. So this was more so like when I was first like starting to get like somewhat fluent in Japanese. And so like to go or like the word for to go in Japanese is omochikaeri. Mm-hmm. But like I switched it around and said okaeri mochi. And my Japanese friend called me and she was like, oh, kawaii, that's so cute. I was like, no.
That doesn't have any meaning, right? Just mochi you want to take home or something.
I mean, carry your house, I don't know.
That's a cute mistake too.
Yeah.
So what was the point in your language journey that you were like, oh, I'm fluent? What's that? Did you ever have like a light bulb go off, or was it just over time you're like, oh, yeah, I guess that happened?
I guess so. I've always been like recording myself, like videos wise, like content of me speaking Japanese. Mm-hmm. And so looking back on that, I realized it was 2020, early 2020, when I was able to like hold a full, or not necessarily full, but hold some sort of like decent conversation with like a Japanese speaker. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this was year 4 of my studies.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I had already finished 3 full years of studying once I, got some sort of like conversational fluency.
Nice. So for anybody studying, I mean, there is, of course, no magic solution. There's not just one thing that you're going to do that makes you fluent. But what are your best tips that have helped you?
Oh, man. Okay.
I know this is like all of what your content is about.
Yeah.
Oh, just a few things off the top of your head.
Off the top of my head, shadowing. If you don't know what that is, definitely go look it up. But basically, shadowing is just watching like a TV show or like drama, movie, whatever, and you're repeating what the characters are saying using like to start good pronunciation. Mm-hmm. Like if you really want to like get fluent and start sounding like, say a Japanese speaker or like, even being close to a native speaker of whatever language you're studying, shadowing is your best friend. That's 1. 2, oh man, I would say put yourself out there. Like I know people, especially those in the United States and also Japanese people living here will say the same thing. Like Japanese people say, oh, I don't have anyone to practice English with. And people living in the States will say like, oh, I don't have anyone to study Japanese with. We are in an information era. So like go online, like use apps like HelloTalk or like there's so many like now Japanese online communities that you can join that have like, weekly Japanese like chats or like meetups where you video chats or meetups and like meet other learners, meet other speakers. If you live in an area where you might say have like a language exchange table, try to see if you can go to that. And now we have AI. There's so many AI apps that you can practice like conversation with. So like you have people or resources to practice conversation skills with. You just got to go out and find them. Yes. That's the second big thing.
I got to do more of the shadowing thing. I know I have recorded myself like reading something. And then, it sounds so good when you're doing it. You think it sounds so good. And then you listen back and you're like, ooh, what was that?
Is that my voice?
Yeah, so I'm curious how my progress would be with that. I have not recorded myself speaking Japanese.
You should.
Like at length in a while. Okay. All right, shadowing. I'll try it.
Oh, yeah, and that's the other thing. Yeah, record yourself speaking. Like, I don't know, and listen back and compare it. Because you can be, shadowing, repeating after native speakers all day. But I think recording yourself and then listening back to the recording and then listening to whatever it was that you were watching and comparing the two, that's also going to be like a big time help.
That is true. Right, shadowing is not like recording yourself. It's just saying it out loud.
Yeah.
But if you do record it, that's a bonus.
Yep.
Yes. So then this series that you started on Instagram, like a mix of Japanese and AAVE. Mm-hmm. So for anybody who's not American, AAV is African American Vernacular English. Mm-hmm. So was that just something you're like walking down the street and you're like, wait, that would be a really fun series? How did you think of that?
So it was one Monday night in March and I was like, oh crap, I haven't posted my daily reel. What am I going to do? 3 hours until midnight. I had nothing. So then I'm like scrolling through and then I see this like Italian creator who also lives in Japan and she released a video of like Japanese words and Italian words combined. And I was like, wait, because we already have like the Japanese and English words combined. I was like, if I could do that with like AAVE, I was like, that would be so cool. So then I sat down and like looked up some like, basic Japanese phrases and also basic like AAVE phrases and see, how could I morph those two similar words together. And then I had 7 phrases to work with and that was like I recorded. And then next thing you know, that video went so viral. I was shook.
What are some of your favorites?
What are some of my favorites? Oh, man. Okay, so one of my favorites, I think, would be featured in that very like first viral video. Mm-hmm. So the whole phrase is maji deadass. And so the half of the Japanese phrase is majide, which means like, are you for real or serious? Yeah. And then like deadass is like the way in AAVE that we say like, are you serious? Like, are you dead ass? Like, or just dead ass? And so I combined it, maji dead ass. That's probably my favorite.
I like wakarimasen less.
Wakarimasen less. That was a good one. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. How many of those videos have you done now? At least 5, right?
I've done 7 now. 7. Yeah.
Keep it going.
I will try.
It's a good series. And yeah, the people like it, so.
I didn't think they were going to like it as much as they did.
But you post every day?
I post every day. I've been posting every day since last year, September 10th.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it. I can't post daily.
I don't know how I do it either, guys.
My husband also posts daily. And I'm like,
Really?
Why are you doing this to yourself? Aren't you tired?
I'm posting daily, but I'm not filming/editing daily.
Oh, okay. So you batch film and then...
If I batch film, it's usually no more than like 2 or 3 videos at a time.
Oh.
Yeah. I just somehow, at least in the evenings, I'll like find time or make time to try to like film, and then editing doesn't take too long anymore since now I'm like, used to it. So yeah, I mean, I'd rather just post daily so that way I can kind of like keep myself on the algorithm and like, keep, growing my community as fast as possible. So
what is your goal? Is 10K
for right now? Yeah, it's 10K for right now. So I already have 10K across. I already have 10K across platforms. So now I'm trying to get like 10K on Instagram.
But you're really close.
I'm really close. Oh my God, 8.3. We're almost there.
Yeah, you want to do that by your birthday.
Yes.
When is your birthday?
June 10th.
Okay, very soon.
Very soon, 2 weeks. We got this, guys.
Birthday month.
Right. If it's not, at least like if it's not June 10th, like in the month of June, that would work too.
Yeah, but if you're posting daily, the algorithm loves that.
It rewards consistency.
So we're in Tokyo right now, but you don't live in Tokyo.
I don't live in Tokyo. So when I first arrived in Japan, I was residing in Tokyo for 2 months, actually in Osaki, in a homestay, because I couldn't find any Yokohama housing while I was still living in the States. I couldn't find any housing online. But then when I got here, I was able to like make connections with some of my classmates who put me in touch with a landlord in the share house that they were living in. So then I was able to move to Yokohama in month 3 of my Japan life. So I've been living in Yokohama like ever since. I now live in an apartment, but so I know Yokohama way better than I do Tokyo. So
what do you like about Yokohama? It's close to Tokyo, but it's definitely not as crazy.
No, definitely not. Exactly. Definitely not as crazy. I would say what I like the most is the fresh air.
Oh.
So we have the sea, like the water down there. So, these like wonderful views. And then, like you said, like not that many people down there, not nearly as crowded. And then the cost of living is actually cheaper than Tokyo.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So at least for like where I live, like my apartment, I actually made an apartment tour video, but my apartment is 55,000 yen. So around 350 USD per month for a 1 room.
Wow.
Yeah. And people in Tokyo are usually paying like double that, if not triple, for that same kind of setup. So I couldn't do it.
That is true. Oh, how's the foreign community in Yokohama?
The foreign community in Yokohama is pretty good. At least in the ward where I live, we have a pretty high like foreign community. Like we have like people from all over the world. Like I've seen a lot of like Southeast Asians. I've seen like a lot of like Caucasians, like Europeans, like pretty much like also like Africans. Like it's pretty diverse. So I like that a lot. Like obviously Tokyo is a little bit more diverse, but even like for Yokohama, we still have a pretty like diverse community. So we definitely have like a lot of more culture than I thought we did.
I don't go to Yokohama that much, but I should. Maybe next time I'll stay there instead of Tokyo.
You should.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
When was the last time you went to Yokohama?
I had a YouTube work project in Yokohama like a year and a half ago.
Okay.
But that, I didn't really have a say in the itinerary. They were like, we need to film these places. And it was really fun. It was like kind of based around history. So we started off at this carpenter's place, like a miyadaiku, like the type of person that does the carpentry for like shrines and stuff.
Ooh.
So yeah, that was starting like, I don't know, whatever period that was, and then going to the ramen museum and then like more modern things like around the Minato Mirai area.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was fun. But I feel like there's still so much more of Yokohama to explore.
There's so much more. I'm someone that lives there and I'm still like finding out new things and new places about Yokohama. So
I don't know if it's bigger than Osaka area-wise.
Area-wise, maybe not, but like population-wise, I think we might be bigger than Osaka.
I gotta double check this, but I think it's the second largest city population-wise, and then Osaka might be third.
That's what I've heard. Yep.
So I mean, I don't live in Osaka City, but like Osaka's pretty diverse too. There's a lot of different types of foreigners living in Osaka. But I moved kind of, it's not in the middle of nowhere, but I'm definitely more in the countryside now than I was before.
Yeah.
And there's no other foreigners that I've seen.
Like none. Like no other foreign residents.
I mean, maybe some people who run restaurants. in the town. But I don't, when I'm walking down the street or like taking the train, it's not really until I get closer to Osaka City that I see more people.
Oh, wow.
But I know near the main train station in my city, there's, I don't know if it's Nova or another Eikaiwa, but there's got to be some foreign people who work there, but I've never seen them. Where are they?
Where are they? I guess not living where you live.
But that's good for my Japanese. So
Nice.
So for the near or distant future, do you want to stay in Japan for a long time? Like, what are the goals that you have?
I am definitely looking to stay in Japan for a long time. Like, in the back of my mind, I'm just like, I want to be here till like retirement or like till I die. But I'm just like, wait, let's slow my roll. Let's just take it like a year at a time. But I do know I would rather not go back to the States. Like, not for like, you know, life or like work or anything. I have gotten like very used to like Japan and like the way of life here. And then I feel like if I were to just abandon Japan, like then I just would have let 10 years of Japanese, you know, go to waste.
That's true.
Would eventually, I guess, for the distant or near or distant future, definitely want to become some sort of like entrepreneur. I mean, we're going to start with content creation, try to get monetized off of that, try to build some sort of business off of like content creation. And also I teach like Japanese online. So build a business through that as well. And then, I don't know, like maybe just want to see where like teaching and content creation takes me. Might, you know, build some sort of other like business off somewhere doing who knows what. But definitely want to like be here professionally and, you know, keep doing things differently, live life off the beaten path and not work full time. So
what is your favorite part about living here?
The food.
Oh. What's your favorite Japanese food?
Favorite Japanese food? Oh man, would have to be okonomiyaki. And then curry rice would be a close second.
Good choices. Okonomiyaki was my first favorite food, but then when I moved to Osaka, you can have it anytime. So I'm like, I still like it.
So then what's your favorite food now?
Sukiyaki.
Sukiyaki. I think you're the first person in general between foreigners and Japanese that has actually said their favorite food is sukiyaki.
Oh, I love it. I love the broth, like a nice, hot, flavorful soup-ish meal. It's not a soup, but it's not a soup. I don't know. Try sukiyaki. Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, man. Yeah, sukiyaki, especially like during fall and winter. Oh, man. It tastes so good.
It's about to be summer, so I'm not going to have sukiyaki for a while.
No.
Oh, man. Okay. Those are all the questions that I had for you.
Yay!
But I did just want to say that your username is really clever. Because her name is Ebony, and the username is Ebonihongo.
I appreciate that.
It's so cute.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I tried really hard with that new username. You're one of the, I think you might be person number 10 that has told me that since starting content creation. So I appreciate that.
Yes, I love it. I think maybe you commented on one of my videos before, and then I saw the username, and I was like, that's so cute. Who is this? And now here we are.
Here we are.
Yes. Okay. That's all I got for you. Any
final thoughts?
Yeah. Any final thoughts? Any advice to the people who want to study Japanese or move here or travel here?
I would say, oh man, if you really want to move to Japan, learn Japanese. You need it for life here. I mean, especially if you want to be like independent, you know, and not have to always ask one of your Japanese friends or one of your fluent foreigner friends to always help you with things. You definitely should learn Japanese before getting here. And then even while you're here, it's going to help you so much. I cannot stress that enough.
That is true.
Yeah. Especially also if you want to lead a kind of work life that is not full time. So say like us, like we're content creators, like you are going to really need like Japanese. So get to studying. You guys got this. Just be prepared to also be consistent and know when you study Japanese, you're going to be in it for the long run. But it's so rewarding. I could not imagine living in Japan without Japanese. Like it has definitely enhanced my life in more ways than one. So if I can do it, you guys can too. Ganbatte!
Good advice. Thank you so much for being on the podcast today.
Thank you so much for having me. This was so fun.
Of course. And the listeners and the watchers, thank you so much for tuning in. And check out Ebony's Instagram, TikTok, all that. Do you post on YouTube too?
Yes. Basically, just I have some long form up, but all of my or most of my Instagram reels just go to YouTube Shorts.
If you want to learn Japanese, especially, check out her stuff. So, yep. Thanks for listening and watching, and catch you again soon. Bye.
Bye.